we're recording. I don't care if this. Yeah, I can't get too nasty on it.
You can always.
Well, we won't
cut.
put this in.
We
No, I absolutely will not say what I'm about to say with a microphone in my hand.
Okay.
It came from a very good friend, and it's a very funny story that I'll tell you after the podcast.
Okay.
I'm very excited to hear it.
I want to tee you guys up, dude. Get your dicks hard.
I want to quit the show.
How much you pay me for a private
We do
dance?
this thing where we get like real amped up, just like especially if it's just the two of us, and we just start talking shit.
Oh, dude.
And we go, and
all comics are giant pussies.
Yeah.
We talk
Little
so
gossip
much
queens.
shit. Yeah.
But we will have these episodes where it's probably great podcasting, like on a listener level.
Oh, yeah.
And then we immediately, like on the train home, I'm texting Nicole, we got to take that.
We're
out.
like
Yeah.
the mothers
You
and
blew-
curlers on the corner of the street in Edward Scissorhands.
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
just
yeah.
get together and talk shit.
You absolutely told a stripper you were going to save her.
Yeah.
And then blew your load. And then now you're like, she called you to go like, where do you live? And you go, fuck. That's your train ride home. You go, fuck.
Every time.
I have a promise to fulfill.
The third episode of every recording session, we tell Nicole to send it to us because
You
there's
go,
a solid chance
Nicole,
we're
if
deleting
she's
it.
smart, is holding all of this in a major cache, in just a zip drive.
Yeah.
She's going to show up and she's going like, Mikey, be unfortunate if your sons heard the way their father really talks.
Do you think every sound engineer has like little clips of
I'm
the
prepared
first
for
30
it.
seconds of everybody putting a lapel mic on?
I am prepared for
Oh,
it,
yeah.
and I have already the arsenic and all the poisoning devices I would need to take
die?
out Lou Witzke. I'm not going to kill myself first, but I will eliminate.
Oh, okay.
If someone corked board it, they would go, now follow me here.
The only
Lou
connective
Witzke
tissue.
worked at Sirius XM at the same time with Daniel Soder. Now, he shows up poisoned a week ago. So does. I think these guys had some real files on this guy. And it's just me being a catty bitch.
Yeah.
I go, sell out the Beacon twice? How about write a joke? And then I fucking, on the way home, I'm like, I was catty.
I can't do that.
David Costable, who was on Billions with me, he played Wags. He's awesome.
Yeah.
He's like one of the best character actors of our generation. Guy was in fucking Breaking Bad and The Wire.
Which
Holy
one is
shit.
He's Wags on Billions, but he played the chemist that Walter White kills.
Oh, that
okay,
guy's
Gale.
awesome.
He's
Yeah.
Gale.
That guy rocks.
Sorry,
Genuinely, my like
What's
probably
his name on
Gale.
Dale, and then
Gale
Gale.
with a
Yeah,
G.
yeah.
and he was Christian Shaw's husband in Flight of the Conchords.
Oh, yeah,
when she was obsessed with them,
Yeah.
which is another great role.
That is awesome.
He is one of the greatest character actors, just actors of our generation. I love David Costable as a human and as a professional. And the first time I hung out with him on Billions was season 1, and we were in the makeup trailer, and I was very insecure, and I was just like, I'm a comic. Like, I don't know. You guys are all so good at acting. I'm going to suck. And I was just doing that in the makeup.
I'm sorry, man.
I was like, game over, man. I fucking don't know. And David Costable started laughing. He's like, you're a stand-up comic? I was like, yeah. He's like, you are only second to Broadway dancers with how horrible you are to each other.
Oh,
He said it so confidently that I was like, no, you're absolutely right.
That's why Broadway dancers.
He goes, Broadway dancers will push each other downstairs to get into a chorus line.
Yeah,
And he's
yeah.
like, comics will verbally do that to each other.
Dude, when I
yeah.
used to bark for Broadway Comedy Club, we would do it outside of Chicago,
Nice.
and they would have like the B squad of their dancers sashay and try to
yeah.
hand out.
They're barking?
Dude, they were barking too, and
Watching-
you're like, it doesn't get better for anybody.
No.
Broadway barking versus comedy barking.
Well, it
Both
shows
are
you,
gay.
Yeah.
but it shows you how much more talent you need to do that.
Oh my God, they're like, and why don't you see a show? I'm stubbing out a cigarette. I go, hey, you got nothing to do?
yeah. We got some people from Comedy Central Presents.
You ever watch Last Comic Standing? One of the guys from the first episode is here. One of the smash cuts where they tell some guy to kill himself. He's here tonight. Do you remember?
People would use The Last Comic Standing when they were in the reel for like the most brutal acts that came through.
Yeah, we are at a different age. We are no longer in the age of credits.
Never, no.
No.
We all came up in the age of credits.
All my credits are canceled.
Yeah, Comedy
Yeah.
Central
Like
was a
they aren't
majority of mine.
networks. Like Conan, Corden,
Cosby
Fallon.
Show.
It's like being a soldier from a country that doesn't exist
Yeah,
anymore.
yeah.
You go, where are these medals from? And you go,
Yugoslavian army.
Czechoslovakia, whatever.
Doesn't matter.
Fuck. He's ashamed. Yeah, I pretty much fought off a genocide in 1986. Then they fucking, dictator gave in.
The drama's still there. That's real.
I mean, it's everything's cyclical. So we'll go through a cycle where the people now that were like grifting right will have to act like they weren't. Just like the people that were grifting left in the 2010s act like they weren't.
Well, yeah, this is all like a response to Nanette, and a lot
That's
of Glazer and all that stuff, and Amy.
That's how powerful of a piece it was.
It spawned Austin.
How old is a 16-year-old? Joe Rogan won't move to Austin.
That's how it started. You go, listen back, dude. It is a direct response.
She said he won't move to Austin.
I bet in a million years Joe Rogan would never live in Texas.
If they are a true product, if they are a true product of that, that means they are the Hasidic Jews of comedy.
Yeah.
Austin is a full response to Nanette.
Well, they're the Mormons.
Yeah,
They're the Mormon church.
He's their Joe Rogan's Joseph Smith.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
He saw it. He saw.
There's a Great Lake.
What's the name of the angel?
Shane's Brigham Young. There's going to be Shane Gillis University in Austin, where they're like, it's the fighting that's gay. And then there's Tony Hinchcliffe A&M.
Roast University.
Roast
Tenured
University.
Professor David Lucas.
It's just a big Shane. It's like one of those. It's like when Bert did that for his tour, where he has a mascot.
Oh yeah, of himself riding a bike.
Yeah,
It was. I'm not gonna lie. It was very fun to see mascot Bert.
that mascot Bert was great.
Yeah,
I liked him.
And I'm like still child brained, so I'd see it. I'd be like, I want to meet Bert. Meanwhile, I was sleeping on a bus with him. I'm like, I want to meet Bert. Like the reaction, like when little kids see Winnie the Pooh at Disney World, and they're like, that was me high in the morning with Big J saying the mascot Bert.
Takes off the mask. It's just Leanne pedaling a bike.
She's like,
Hey y'all.
I'm tired.
no, I knew the guy in the costume. I knew the man in the costume.
You did.
That's what I say about Bert. I knew the man in the costume.
I knew the man behind the costume.
Did he have fans in the costume?
No, it was a guy that worked on the tour.
No, not like fans as in like circulating fans
I don't
for
know.
air.
I think so, dude. He would come off that.
No, I think it was just.
So it wasn't like Disney World.
He did like
level.
coal miner shifts.
Oh no.
I did the full tour last summer, and it was all in hot places.
I bet he made weight at the end of the summer.
Dude, that guy, he looked like
Shredded.
Christian Bale in The Machinist.
He looked like a Jesus statue.
A wrung out towel.
You go, pour water on the poor boy. He was drinking it through his skin. He was like,
Look, he's a beached whale. They're just
Frog
hitting him with water.
rehydration.
I high-fived so many people.
One arm is so much stronger than the other, like an English archer.
yeah. Dude, my mascot would you'd have to go find him playing video games somewhere.
Soder's in the Winnebago again.
My mascot would be like trying to not be seen. He'd be like in line, and people would come up and
Can I get a
go,
picture? And you go, oh.
"No, I'm actually not who you think I am."
my mascot would be Mask Off having a fight with one of the vendors.
Your mascot's you getting
You go,
in a
"My
fist fight
kid-"
with a Hasidic family at Marshall's.
You go, what is this, a Russian T-doll? Is there a littler Mike Cannon in you?
Then you
Just
see
the
his
alien
son
pulling
jump over
levers.
his back like the feral child in Mad Max.
I love it, dude. That'd be sick.
Yeah.
That feral kid deserves more credit.
What happened to
I
him?
would
I wanna
like
know
to.
what happened to him.
I would like to train my son almost like falconry.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To just like let him
Well, that
loose
is
on
what
a
parenting.
rabbit.
That's good parenting.
Yeah.
Call
You
or
should
call.
set up a move.
Son!
You should set up a move where you get down and he jumps off your back and
That is-
attacks.
I think
is
that's
sick.
a great idea.
You should practice that into a pool.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm way on board with
Yeah.
this.
By the way, he's boxing me and my wife like all the time. He caught Nicole with like a left to her body where she's like, I think that's the end of it.
Damn, she had to get down on one knee. Like when they hit him with a liver shot.
He just put her down and she's like,
She's speaking Spanish. No mas. That's awesome. Little kids throwing, when they start throwing shit that hurts.
yeah.
Oh, my daughter, when I am holding her and she wants to be put down, so just say an uppita, she just starts slapping me in the face, and for a while it was cute, and now she's like strong enough where it's like cold clocking me.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm gonna drop the baby.
You have to do that rope exercise in the backyard, and you go, "Is Andy training to fight?" You go, "Nope, his daughter's becoming a toddler."
Yep.
Yeah.
You ever get hit by your toddler in public when you're trying to keep your shit together? Because I've been trying to get Crew on an airplane when he was like 2 years old, and he's like, boom, and just like connected so solidly that it was like an adult hit. And as an adult, all you want to do, like in my head, I'm not trained, but every reaction I've had to getting hit has been, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And he cleaned me out that much that my instant reaction was that. And then I have to just be like,
Oh, dude,
We don't hit.
you guys are you guys are powerful, man. I would have bear hugged the shit out of him. I would have gone, great. Now we're in row fucking 12. He's like, yeah. And that's where's the fucking window seat? just lock that arm. Your wife watches you put your hand on your forearm, and you go, great. We have a connection. Are we going to be okay to make that? He's like. It's like, we go, we don't do that, do we? We don't fucking do that, do we? Yeah, that's crazy. The restraint is incredible.
yeah. Well, my 5-year-old now, about to be 6, so he's like getting like real strength and agility and all that stuff, and he takes jujitsu, so he will get
What
a
is-
real choke-in.
What is this en masse
I don't know.
Can I
lethal
explain it?
training of children that I know is
Can I
going
explain
on?
it?
Is there a kid army?
There's a child army.
Is there a secret child army that you don't tell people without kids about?
There's a war brewing. I don't know if you know this.
You go, brother, this goes deeper than you ever could know. How much time you got, man?
You go to Harriman State Park.
I'm smoking a cigarette out the window. Katie goes, you okay? I go, I don't think I am. There's a baby army coming.
Baby arm out there.
So he trains jujitsu.
He does jujitsu.
Classic 6-year-old.
He does. So he's so physical that he had to, like, because he wrestles me all the fucking time, and my body has limitations as I'm getting
We had to
older.
train him, you know.
Literally had to train him to get better
God.
at it.
Not your son, but there will be a case of someone with the same line of thinking.
Yeah.
And then 50 years later, they're like, my son was a serial rapist? And they're like, yeah, he was almost undefeated. No woman could block him. I don't know why you got him used to pepper spray.
He ran into a brown belt, couldn't
You go-
do anything with her.
You go, Mike's in the kitchen. He goes, all right, pepper spray training time. Go to the backyard. Hands behind your back. And the kid's like, he's like,
It's like
yeah,
Hannah. Like that little girl show, Hannah.
yeah,
Like blowing in a dog's face.
yeah. She's like,
I blow in my daughter's face before I dunk her.
Nice.
really?
You go, she goes,
You're
teach her how to
waterboarding
swim.
her?
Confused
Oh, I
the
thought you were
shit
a
out of
I'm
waterboarder.
just dunking her for fun.
You go, did you poop your pants? She's like,
the washcloth over her face.
did you poop your fucking pants? But
Then
so
I
you're-
turn on Metallica.
Yeah. No, the Barney song, but she's into it. You're like 24 hours of the Barney song. You go, I don't know if she's either going to become a CIA asset or pledge a sorority and be fine.
Yeah.
Nobody's beating this time.
Your daughter's just sitting in the middle of the sorority house, and they're like,
You stupid bitch!
She sticks her foot out, trips a girl, she breaks her
Her
ankle.
pupils never dilate.
it's insane. She can take an elephant amount of ecstasy. The Sigma News can't date rape her.
That would be, a GHB trainer.
Yeah. Again, you're like practicing her to go to state school.
Again, it's
Yeah.
unreal.
She's like, that's it. When the boy gives you a drink, you say, yes, sir, may I have another? Kid goes, I fucking roofied that girl in Theta like 6 times.
She won't go down.
She's just like, she's got the Homer Simpson disease with GHB. Does your son compete?
No, he doesn't do that. So he just got his second stripe on his white belt. Now he's taking a little break because he's playing coach pitch baseball, and which is like we're starting to talk about this. I actually want to talk to you about it because you played sports growing up, right?
I wasn't good at him, but I played 'em.
But you still played.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't recognize, like, I never even took it as stress when I was a kid. It was all fun. It was all competitive.
Not me.
You took it as stress.
I literally probably could have been, if someone would have removed that from my brain, I would have been a decent athlete.
No
Yeah.
shit.
Because when I would play in the neighborhood just fucking around, I was nasty.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I would cut the
Well,
lights
it's
on.
similar. When I was a kid, I had no stress. When it became like high school and there were stakes and I had things to prove, then I was a head case and I couldn't do it.
Dude, immediately I was just like,
No shit.
The second I went from coach pitch to kid pitch,
Yeah.
I've told you this before. My dad was All-American football and wrestling.
Yeah.
And I didn't find that out till I was like 19.
That's sick, though.
And I had the physicality to be a good
Oh,
athlete.
that's funny.
And then I go, "What the fuck was that?" And he goes, "I had a fucked up house. I had to stay out. That's the reason why I did sports, was I had to have an excuse not to go home."
But you do have the ability to fly.
Yeah.
I probably should have told you that much earlier on.
That's like how Rogue
I'm from a
found
different
out.
planet called Krypton. It blew up. Just Superman's kid going like, what?
What?
Yeah. And he goes, oh, yeah. You could have got out of a lot of the jams you had growing up.
No, I was
You're
such a
Kryptonian.
Yeah.
I was a pussy, and I could have been swimming in it. You know, I could have been such a jock, and he was just like,
Sagalo
"Get a
too,
good
dude.
home."
I'm convinced that Sagalo had the makings of an athlete because I'm like, we're filming this new series where I'm teaching him things from scratch. So
Yeah.
I taught him how to play basketball and I taught him how to swing a golf club. Took him to the batting cage, like
Yeah.
cold plunge, the whole thing. If any adult like looked him in the eyes and saw he was a real boy with feelings
Yeah.
and supported him, he could have been like a legitimate football player or
That's
a legitimate
That's
athlete.
a lot of people.
Totally.
There's a lot of people that like you get confidence at a young age and it carries you until the skill catches up.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
like people
my
that can
God,
like,
I've never thought of it like that. That's
Yeah.
exactly what it
There's
is.
a couple comics who were like really good at, like Rory Scovel was a D1 athlete.
see,
Really?
Greg
Soccer?
Warren was an All-American wrestler.
Yeah, and I think it really
in
translates.
Iowa, right? Like the
No,
real.
Greg grew up in Missouri. But
Same
Vecchione
difference.
also was a wrestler.
Yep.
There's like Ethan Simmons Patterson played football at Iowa.
Yeah.
No
He's-
shit.
Yeah, he played safety.
Oh,
He's
wow.
an
Oh, so
Adonis.
he was
I mean, it's pretty
lighting
crazy.
people the fuck
Yeah,
up.
he played with George Kittle.
Jesus Christ! I mean, that changes everything that I've ever thought of him.
And he does the coolest thing in the world. He's very casual about it.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, oh, yeah, I played. And I was like, but then, of course, he's like very humble about it. He's like, I was like, I played my freshman year. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, but I'm like, dude, you played at Iowa, which is a Big Ten school. You didn't just like meander into
Right.
a football and go like, oh, this is called football? Like, you're very good at football.
Yeah, elite.
To even walk on at a Big Ten school. I think he might have been a scholarship player. I don't know.
That's
yeah, I think he's
fucking-
like one of
that's
the only
nuts.
people that I've seen do one of the like naked Mateo photos where he looks also like Mateo.
Yeah, of
Oh,
course.
yeah. There's this secret group of shredded comedians.
Jay Jordan, the next
Yeah.
Marvel action hero.
Yeah.
Is,
Gianmarco, Jay Jordan, and all them have like combined 7% body fat.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I lay on my side and look like a yellow lab.
we came
Going
up
out
when
my
you were
pink
supposed to be
boy.
ugly.
I'm just like,
I'm so boned. I've been working out so much, and I've reached an age where it just does not.
Does nothing.
I still look
Yeah.
like a marshmallow.
yeah.
Creatine?
Maybe I'm.
I just started
I'm starting to open
creatine.
up to that.
I don't know what it's
I
gonna
think I
do.
have to stop eating anything I like.
Don't
Yeah.
do steroids.
No, I have
So
in the
many
past.
comics are getting too roided.
Really?
Yeah, there's like famous comics that were very great stand-up, still funny, but like they have steroid jaw now. And it's
Oh,
like
yeah.
weird to watch.
Oh,
them.
we talked about this recently. There's
Yeah.
a couple of stand-ups who have some very, what is it, TRT
Yeah,
face?
TRT,
Oh, yeah.
TRT jaw.
Yeah, and the blood pressure to go with it. Their
And
head
they're
looks
like,
like a fucking
Oh,
red tomato.
you ever go on a date? Oh yeah, yeah. It's a very common misconception. Who's on the apps? Who's on the apps? Yeah. I don't understand. Yeah. I don't understand these fuck boys. Yeah. Yeah. They'll watch your story. But they won't text you back. A Macho Man doing like, I'm talking about Mulaney. That's who I'm talking about with TRT jaw. Funny to think Macho Man doing Mulaney's act.
Yeah.
He was like, I'm trying to think of what Mulaney bit would be perfect for Macho Man to do.
God, I'm trying to think. The New in Town one?
I saw a homeless guy. He had a sign. It said 4 things. Yeah. It said, I'm homeless. Yeah, I have AIDS. And I'm new in town. How do you pick that order? Yeah. There's a horse in the hospital. Yeah. Talking about a horse.
Did you ever meet him?
Who, Mulaney?
No.
Oh, I mean, because honestly,
yeah.
has
Did you ever
anyone-
meet Mulaney?
Holy shit! Mulaney, I swear to God, treats me the same way that my junior year AP English teacher treats me, which is like, how did you get in here?
Yeah.
Every time I see Mulaney, he's like, "Hello, Dan," and I'm like, "I'm sorry, should I not be?" He's like, "No, it's fine." He's so goddamn funny, though.
I've had so many awkward interactions with him that I don't even try.
Me neither.
And he was hosting SNL, and we brought the kids to SNL. They did like an SNL trick or treat.
Oh, I saw that. It was great.
Yeah. But he was the host and his kids were there. And then, him and Rosebud are talking and I'm just trying to stay out of it. And then he's like, I know you. And I'm like, fuck.
Yeah. Hi, Professor Mulaney. He's like, well, you were in my 102 class.
I can see that things have turned out like I thought they would.
Are you working with your hands?
Do you have a union job? And you go, no, Professor Mulaney. I'm still doing drugs.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he's so funny. He said something to me that was so Mulaney one time, just in passing at the cellar. Because like I said, I'm not like friends with him. And every time I talk to him, I feel like I'm taking up his time. But we were at the cellar and it was when Game of Thrones was still going on.
Yeah.
And he was like, all right, nice to see everybody. Like addressing the table. He goes, I'm going to go home and watch Game of Thrones. And I go, oh, yeah, dude, I'm excited to see what's going on with the Starks. And Mulaney looks at me and goes, no one cares what happens in the North. And I thought it was so fucking funny. He was being funny. It was I was like, God damn it, you're funny.
No one cares what happens in the North.
I've had one interaction with him, and it was nice, but it was also dismissive at the same time, where I was coming off stage at McDougal, and he was going on stage, and I didn't know he was on the show, and he just goes, funny, while not looking at me, but also moving me out of the way.
Move it or lose it.
Literally pushing me into the hall.
Okay, move. Yeah, no, but he is also the man.
I have this horrible propensity to insult people that I'm trying to like befriend. Like I'm trying to like somebody who I look up to.
Sure.
I'll like try to be candid and I'll always end up insulting them.
Yeah.
And I had seen my very first weekend working at the DC Improv as an employee, not as a comic. I was like a doorman there. He was hosting, Jay Larson was featuring, Birbiglia was headlining, and he was new, and it just was like I didn't think, oh my God, here's the face of a generation.
Sure.
And then like a year later, I was up in New York at Rafifi, and he was doing Donald Trump and all that, and it was like dying laughing. And I saw him at O'Hare like a month later, and I was like, hey man, I saw you, and I gotta say, like, I saw you a year ago. I wasn't that blown away. And then I saw you like a month ago. And he did that thing where he like sat there and he was like, all right. Yeah. And then I was like, but you are fucking amazing now. And all he hears is, I wasn't.
You're making me pretty mad.
I got that from I got a passive aggressive compliment insult from a comedian, will remain nameless, that told me, he's like, you're the one I always use as an example of somebody who was so bad when they started and then worked themselves into being a really good comedian.
People for some reason
like,
think
I'm
that's
gonna fucking skull fuck you,
They think that's
dude.
a compliment. I think people think that's like supposed to be charming or something.
Didn't you used to be fat? All right, bye. You're like skinny now, so there's nothing to be mad about. All right, bye. And then you sit there, you go, yeah.
Yeah, all right.
I
Well,
was very fat for a long time.
My worst fears when I was fat were real.
Do you, as a Knicks fan, do you get jealous when you see other comics at the Knicks game?
Yeah, they're not like viscerally angry to a level that I can't properly even answer the question.
How you get like, why not me?
Yeah, of course, because listen, there's a lot of things where I'm why not me. I would say the majority of things.
That's what this podcast is about.
Yeah.
It should have been called
why not
me.
Us?
Yeah, but it's funny because why not me's aren't just one thing. It goes to so many different levels.
Yeah.
And especially when you love something else.
Yeah.
I've been watching a lot of comics go on Monday Night Raw because it's on Netflix.
Yeah.
And you go like...
No, it's gotten to the point where I think it's a life lesson.
I don't think you love it like that, but okay.
I feel like I'm supposed to learn something from watching people live my dream.
Yeah.
Like it's gotten to that level where I'm like, oh, they're meeting a person that I've looked up to since I was fucking 6, and they couldn't care less who this person is.
Yeah.
It sucks. It can be the right person, though. The right person can be in that situation. You can be happy for him.
Mm-hmm.
Like a Sam Morril, you know, is
100%.
a huge
100%.
Knicks fan.
100%.
Also, I'll tell you, those tickets for game 1,
Unreal. They were expensive.
I don't think.
Muy expensivo.
I would have never paid that to go to a game.
No, I also can't believe, like, I know people that don't have money that paid for the seats and also gambled.
Yeah.
So, like, because they love the Knicks, but it's like, I would, first of all, I would never gamble on the Knicks because my heart is in it. I
That's how I
can't.
am. 49ers, I won't ever fucking touch a gamble with.
I won't do it with
could you?
Arsenal.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Because you truly are like, now I have to be financially and emotionally crushed.
And also,
Yeah.
I used to watch games with a very like, oh, I love the competitiveness of the play and the quality. Because Champions League is like it's like
yeah.
if there was an NFL in every country and
Yeah.
they all came together, the best 4 teams. But when I'm watching it and I have money on a parlay, it takes out any joy. I don't care about anything but the results, and I stop watching it in the same way. And it's like so I can't do that to Arsenal. It'll fucking poison it for me.
It also hurts more
Yeah.
because you lose and you go like, man, I fucking lost $100.
And you also go, I'm dirty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ew.
I'm a dirtbag.
I'm so sorry. I was for the love of the sport. I'm gross.
I had people ask me how much I put on the Giants in the 08 Super Bowl when they beat the Patriots to destroy perfection. I was like, you think I put fucking money on that game?
Yeah.
Thinking like, one, that there was no bet that I could have made that would have justified thinking they were going to win. And then 2, I was rooting for them.
My favorite thing about New York sports fans is how quickly they turn a narrative.
Yeah.
Because living in New York, both Giants Super Bowls, 08 and 2012, you beat the Niners in 2012 to go to the Super Bowl against Patriots, who you beat again.
Yeah.
I watch sports. So you live in New York, you hear local sports. Like that's what you follow, right? Like,
Yeah.
and this is when I was like still waiting tables. So I was reading the paper on the way in. This is before you were always on your phone. So I'd like read the paper and like the Post and all these people would be like, Tom Coughlin is a cancer. Eli Manning will never do shit. All we got's Michael Strahan. And honestly, bro, I don't even think he's that good of a D end. And then it's like they beat the fucking 18-0 Patriots, the biggest upset in Super Bowl history. They go, I knew it the whole time, bro. I said Eli Manning is the best fucking quarterback. And you're like, you fucking liars.
It's crazy that anybody says that.
Yeah.
Because no, we didn't.
That was the media.
I know.
I think that's all of New York, though. I think
It's
that's
totally all of New York because also you see them beat the Knicks beat the Celtics, and even when they're up 2-0, ESPN people were like laughing, being like, "They're going to win 4. The Celtics are going to win 4 in a row." Like
The
this
only
is just
time
a joke.
the only time it changed was when Jason Tatum blew his fucking Achilles, and everyone's like, "All right, it's a series now."
Yeah, look at that.
We don't know what it's
and
going to
we're up
happen.
3-1.
But I get why New Yorkers do that because it's based on look how this city is fucking built. It's on a tiny island stacked to the sky with everyone being miserable. So you have to convince yourself you're like greatest city in the world, bro. No place I'd rather be than with 7 sweaty people stacked on top of me, bro.
And I
because
think
there's 3 good days of 4.
They do it. I mean, it's like the same thing with like you don't drive, right? You don't have a car.
No, I rent a car.
Yeah, but like when people drive in New York, they drive down the median.
Yeah.
They cut at the last minute.
Yeah.
And it's the same people that would watch like a story about somebody doing something unlawful, and they'd be like, they're fucking animals.
Yeah.
Like, you're also an animal.
You're doing the thing.
Yeah.
And they also spin it to go like, I know how to drive.
Yeah.
I'm from New York City. And you go, you're a horrible driver.
You just
the
break
worst
every
driver
law
I've
there
ever
is.
yeah,
seen.
you just are rude. You cut people off.
Yep.
You're willing to fight.
You bank on the fact that they're less willing to get into an accident than you are.
But living here after a while, they're not wrong.
No, it's how you
Because
have
then
to
you
drive.
go to Ohio and you go, you slow fucking retard.
Yeah.
It drives me
Get
crazy
over.
though, because it's like I think it's like the Ellis Island of it all is like how New York works, where it's like if I don't step on this person's throat, I won't get the piece of paper.
But it's kind of, in that way, it's a little bit of a microcosm of life, is it not? The longer you're here, the more bitter and just calloused you become to other
But I feel
people.
like
And then
if-
eventually you're like, you shouldn't have enough food.
That's why, Louis' bit about the homeless person is like the best encapsulation.
How are they not
of
eating
that.
the
people?
one about he
goes,
desperately needs help.
Yeah, she goes, let's help him. He goes, no.
We don't help.
No, we don't help him.
Yeah.
No, yeah, it's just, that joke was perfect for that. Because you're around it so much that you're finally like, all right, good luck.
Did you, you can tell me to cut this if you don't want me to bring it up, but did you guys see the Theo condemnation of the genocide in Gaza? Did you guys see
No,
that?
I saw that he cried on something. Was that it?
He just went on his podcast and he like called it a genocide and stuff like that. And I thought we actually live in a time where this is the closest that we're going to get to a peace deal is because Barron is going to see Theo.
Barron's like, damn, dude. You know, Theo once knew a guy named One-Armed John, and he had 2 arms. And Trump's like, I'm already lost. And he goes, no. I was watching this podcast, and he was talking about his friend, Squirrel Jim. And Squirrel Jim was Palestinian.
Yeah.
It's like,
Meanwhile, it's just because he saw Santino get that live money. So he's like, all right, I'm going to think you're people now.
I don't know, man. That's hilarious.
But I think that's like the closest we're going to get to a peace deal is Trump's going to go, it's good for the numbers.
Yeah.
You know?
On Theo's podcast.
Yeah.
We've got Bibi.
Yeah.
We've got the leader of Hamas. It's Theo in the middle going, man, I don't even know.
With his hat hair combination.
The hat hair combo that he takes off all in one piece. He goes, it's hard being this good.
He has that accent too.
Oh, yes, everything is an illusion. And he puts it on, he goes, man, I don't even know about it. I woke up. What happened?
He's Don Draper when he takes it off.
He goes, don't you understand this thing's been rigged since the beginning?
It's the smoking man from X-Files.
Mulder, how deep do you want to go? He goes, and then he puts the hat back on. Someone walks in the room, he puts the hat back on. He goes, I got a cousin that got abducted by an alien, man.
Turns out it was just a stack of squirrels with a tin can on their head.
Turns out it was a Delta flight. And then he leaves and he goes, you fool, you almost blew the whole thing. Having a completely serious voice when someone leaves the room. He's like, don't you understand that this goes all the way to the top?
I like that he's also smoking an imaginary cigarette.
He goes, check the records. Joe Rogan lived in Quantico from 1991 to 1995. He was designed in a lab.
We're all assets.
Every single one of them. Everyone you know, including me.
Jelly Roll was born in...
Jelly Roll's real name is Reminisce. It's like some fucking thing. He's a foreign asset.
It's a picture of a jacked Jelly Roll in the in Beirut in 93.
He's got to do fucking Jim Carrey Grinch makeup 4 hours in a makeup chair. He takes it off.
Every day.
Every day. He goes, it's exhausting.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Putting on the face tattoos.
He goes, I'll be right out. I do a little crucifix. 1 second. And I only talk to God when I'm cheesing.
Oh, man. What's going on with you, Dan?
Hanging out.
Yeah?
Wait,
Hanging
Andy, didn't you say that when Dan came on, you wanted to talk about botching it with your crush or something like that? You said he had good stories.
Oh,
about
no.
that.
I mean, we had some great we had a hang a couple years back at Moon Tower where we were just talking about all these stories where we realized like a decade after it happened that somebody was hitting on us that we were extremely into in the moment. And you're like, wait a second. Why would she invite me over at 4 a.m?
Yeah. What could I be doing over there that early? What is she, a farmer?
Why did she say her panties?
Oh my God, she wanted to fuck me.
Yeah. We had one of those things.
Just wake up.
This hot girl used to record South Park for me on VHS when I worked at the radio station. And I would just pick it up at her apartment like,
Wow.
thanks.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Well,
And my penis was very dry back then.
yeah, it was in response to we were also there with Little Sasquatch and
Holy shit, I remember, dude.
Little Sasquatch was like it was during like some kind of like almost like prom week at Texas. At
It was
University of
homecoming.
Texas. It was homecoming, and so there was like the hottest, blondest Texan girls being like, my boyfriend likes you. Do you want to come over right now?
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm
And
tired.
Sass is, I mean, Harry's just the fucking sweetest. And he was like viral for like a couple sketches. And like,
He
you
was
know,
big on Twitter, right?
yeah,
Early?
he's very, very, very funny on Twitter. He's got a bunch of good sketches. But he's young. He's like 21. So young kids want to like someone who's 21. They don't want to like 41-year-olds that are talking about like the vitamins they have to take now just to shit properly. So all these
Magnesium's a game changer.
For real though, start up your shit, start taking a multivitamin if you're north of 40. But we did a show, me, Andy, and Harry did a show together, and then we're walking to get food at Moon Tower because we have a break. And all of these like, as Andy and I called them, little girls.
Yeah.
Little girl, put something on.
Yeah, it was
You're
that.
showing too much skin. That's how Andy and I felt.
Yeah.
Because they were like,
Oh my God, Sass! My fucking boyfriend's like fucking obsessed with you. Do you want to come to a house party?
and he's like, no, it's okay.
Yeah.
And then he'd leave and he's like, what are you guys doing? And we're like, we're getting a hamburger. And he's like, cool. And I was like, brother, you need to live this up. That's
Yeah.
where we start talking about it. I go,
You need to go right now because you'll be thinking about this.
that's exactly where
Because I'm thinking about it right now.
I go, we're like the Flash in the Justice League movie. We're like, blah. Like coming back every time. We're like, get all the pussy you can. You'll fall in love eventually. But right now, get stinky pussy.
It literally, the second it happened, it reminded me I was like 27 and I was like in Mexico City, drunk out of my mind. And we were at this bar and the guy who lost the Tour de France like won it and then they took it back. I forgot his name.
Lance Armstrong?
No, the one that was like before Armstrong got caught.
Oh, yeah.
It was another guy. But he was there. It was like all these like people there for this like bike race. And there was this woman that was like an 11 out of 10 at the bar. And me and my friend are like talking her up. And she turns to me and she goes, the only problem with Mexico is nobody knows how to fuck. And I turn to her and I go, we got to find somebody who knows how to fuck.
Whoa, you're like Garth in Wayne's World. You're like, I don't know.
yeah. I literally was.
You're all wiggly. He's like, He's like, I don't fucking know. Yeah, dude, 80s. We were sitting there. The funniest part of that thing with Little Sass was Andy and I got a burger with him. We were like telling him to live it up. And I go, do you want to know where you're going to end up? And Andy and I both showed our phones. And this was before your daughter was born.
Yeah.
And our wallpaper were our girlfriends and our dogs.
Yeah.
Like our girlfriends holding our dogs. And we were like, this is what life is. It's very fulfilling. But this is what it is.
This is what's coming.
And he was like, okay.
You're going to have a lot of quiet nights, Harry.
I hope you really can find shows you like. But it was awesome.
Yeah.
Because it was also made me really appreciate where I'm at in life right now. Because like you see Sass going through that and you go, I don't want to go through that again.
No, I mean, I don't. I'm like trying to think and like comb my brain if I've ever even had a moment like that.
No, I mean, I never had a moment like that. I had moments where I was doing pretty good. And the worst was one time I was about to get divorced, but I didn't know it. And I was at Cap City and this girl showed up, same type of thing. It was 11 out of 10. She was like in a little dress. And like the second I walked into Cap City, she walks up to me and she goes, hey, y'all, I just got a divorce and I saw your advertisement and I thought I'd come down and meet you. And I was like, oh, I'm married. Sorry. And then like 7 months later, I got a divorce and I was like,
who was that woman?
Yeah, like, does anybody have a receipt? Is there?
Did she fill out a comment card?
You show back up at Cap City with a little notepad like a detective. That woman in the sundress.
Yeah.
Do you have any footage of her?
Do you guys have tape from that day?
He's rewinding it. He's in a room.
Right there.
Right there. Grab it. Camera 7. Enhance.
Zoom in.
That's her. Tracker number. Yeah, dude. I think the reason I always reacted like that was because of how many times in middle school and high school I got the I love you like a brother.
Yeah.
And then it just stops you from taking shots.
Yeah.
Because you go, I'm not getting my hand burned like that again.
Do you know what I did? You just reminded me of this one story in 7th grade where I was sitting next to this girl who I was friends with and was pretty, but I knew she liked me. And I was playing that game of like, she was like, tell me who you like. And I was like, tell me who you like. And I was like, let's say it at the same time. And I knew she was going to say me, and I just didn't say anything. And she goes, you. And I just was like, oh, all right. I went to the bathroom
Heartbroken.
because I didn't know how to handle any of it. And then
jerked off.
And then I jerked off.
Yeah,
probably
then
in the school bathroom.
I mean, you could. If
I had
you
friends that did that. Did you jerk off in the school bathroom?
No.
I had a bunch of friends that were like, that's like, yeah, pretty
The
typical
only time
behavior.
I've ever jerked off like that was I broke up with a girl, and I was like staying at a friend's house, and I didn't know where to jerk off, and so I jerked off in the shower at the athletic club.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Well, I got a fake ID when I was 16 just to get cigarettes. It wasn't even 21. No, it was 21. But
Just to get cigarettes is so funny.
It's truly why I wanted it, just to buy smokes. And it was back, this is like 1999, 98, 99. You could go online and buy a prank ID. Where you send them a passport photo. And then it was like Connecticut. Daniel, my name is Daniel Miller on it. They're like, Daniel Miller. And I could buy cigarettes with it. And then I was like, well, if I could buy cigarettes with it. It was like working your way up like to a boss.
Yeah.
I bought porn next. This is when you bought like VHSs. DVDs weren't even out of porn yet.
Yeah.
Nice.
Like literally they did not exist. There was like maybe 6 total DVD porn titles that you could buy. And they were all like $100.
Yeah.
It was like truly buying like
The future.
Pirates with Jenna Jameson, whatever that one was. It was like $100 for the DVD, and you're like, that's
They're
fucking
like, yeah,
insane.
but you could fit 8 videos on the
You
disc.
could pick the angle.
Director
I don't want to
commentary.
pick the angle. I want to sling this venom out of my fucking body. So I started buying porn at Newsland, RIP, on Iliff and Chambers in Aurora. And I would just like, and then I was like, oh, I got like 2 into buying porn because I was like, oh, 3 tapes for $10. And then I was just
I
buying
have
these like,
$10.
and those boxes are huge.
Bargain bin, porn shopping.
I bought this porn
It's
called
like Ace Ventura 2, Ace Ventura 3.
I was just like,
Cable
I
guy.
want it. Oh, and I bought this movie. I think it was one of the mixtape porns, you know, where they just put together a bunch of scenes.
Best of.
I believe it was called Splat on My Rack too.
That's awesome.
And
Awesome.
at the time, I was 16, and I was a busboy. That was like my full-time job, and my part-time job was I would clean this hair salon that my mom's friend owned, and I would just go in there and I would like clean the floors, and then like really. I have to do like it took me like 4 hours to do, but I would like smoke cigarettes and shit. And dude, I bought this porn and I was so excited for Splat on My Rack that I jacked off. They had it. Oh, that's what it was. I was like making like I was like getting a water or something in their like commissary area, just like wherever they hang out. And I'm like, and I look and I see they have a TV with the VCR in there. And I was like, and I just went out to my car, came back in with a black bag. It was like, they like put it in.
Was it all you?
I know what tape it was. I remember exactly what tape it was. It was Up and Comers 33.
Nice.
Shout out Randy West.
Wow.
Oh, Randy West, every time he'd come, he was so loud. He'd go, oh. Oh. And I fucking put in Up and Comers 33 and fucking pulled one out.
That's great.
And then came into a bunch of paper towels.
Nice.
And then cleaned the hell out of that place.
Porn was so different when we were young men because it was like, now I watch porn, I just go to the website and I just find I don't like search for anything. I'm not like a category guy.
I have saved tabs open. You don't have those fun stuff to go back to?
No, I just remember. I remember it like it's like a treasure chest.
Yeah.
I remember the words.
Oh, so you go back.
Brunette.
It's like a crypto wallet.
Yeah, you go,
It's fun.
brunette.
Whenever
Here's how you unlock
see
it. Yeah.
Whenever I re-see a video, though, it is like accidentally running into an old friend. Wow, look at that.
Sometimes I'll go look up old stuff that I knew from like 17 and be like, what was her name? And
Yeah.
you're like, especially on the road.
Oh,
I'm such a little porn sleuth. Like, Ashland gear. Whoa. And they're like, there we go.
Porn on the road once you have a child and you're basically like taking possession back of your penis.
Yeah.
It's just
This
nonstop.
is mine. Only mine.
The jerking off on the road when you have a kid is just unhealtty.
No, it was like
You
3
could buy,
times
like,
in one day the other day where I was like,
That's
who
so
are you,
funny.
dude?
Yeah.
Yeah, the old you is like,
It's like, what's the animal from Total Recall? The
Quado?
Yeah, it's like Quado
It's like,
coming out.
I need to jerk off.
oh fuck. I mean, yeah, I do it now as a engaged guy with no kids. I just do it now like a little. I like put a little volume on.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, look at me. What am I, a single man?
Yeah.
Your Bluetooth joke made me feel very seen though, because that happened to me when when my first son was just born and my wife and her mother were in my living room, and it just like I played it because I was getting in the shower, so I was like, I gotta like it's been 2 weeks or whatever, I gotta fucking pump something out of me, and I put it on and I hear and I'm like, as soon as I did that fat dude, I couldn't believe how fast my reflexes are, and Nicole goes, what was that? I was like, the Knicks score or whatever. Like
I don't know. I want to listen to a podcast called Moanin' Bitches. Mine was truly like how I say it in the joke is true. I was like cranking the volume. You know, on the phone, I was going like, I'm so
Did Katie
dumb.
know right away what was going on?
Dog, she said she's in the shower and she changes and she goes, and then she goes to the speaker, tries turning it down, but because I'm jamming on the volume button,
God.
and it was like not a moan and stop. It was like not as long as a position change, but it was like, there were.
Was it your run of the mill porn, or is it like a special? This isn't usually what I watch.
It was. I need a crew. And I need to get in and out as fast as possible.
Yeah.
I'm coming by, like if they were all standing in a room naked, I go, I need this to be fast, I need this to be professional. And they're like, got it. And it was once I realized, it was like, oh, dude, that feeling.
That man.
Just getting got, of just being like, fuck.
I primarily jerk off in the shower, and I've had a couple instances where I'm going at it, and then the wife comes in and she's like talking to me, and she's like, what's going on? And I'm like, nothing.
Don't look. There's evidence. She goes, what are you? Oh, come on. We're the only one that can give it away.
Yeah.
Women can have the shower head nozzle to their pussy. We walk in and they're like, you're like, oh, you're just having a happy shower. Us,
We're locked in.
and then they come in and you go, nothing in your dick's thumping.
Yeah.
You're like,
Gremlin.
oh, yeah, it's like, hump, hump, hump.
Dude, I
hump,
have
hump, hump.
I have a little box of hand towels under my bed because I refuse to jerk off into paper towels. I'm an aristocrat.
Very green. No, it's very
you're an
green of
aristocrat.
you.
Yeah, it's not bad. But my wife knows. She gave it to me. She's like, at least organize them, like have them in a pile.
She does them on laundry day. She goes, sorry, I got to stock Mike's cum towels.
She literally does, dude. She's a fucking angel.
Jesus Christ.
She just
That's
stacks
true love.
them right in there for me. And but the one tax I pay is that when it's out, she's like,
What are you
just slide it under the fucking bed, dude.
Yeah.
Just slide it back so I don't have to know that you jerked off today.
Yeah, that's the evidence.
I was like, yeah, that's
This
goes,
is my wife. The other day, she was like going somewhere, and I like kind of got like grabby with her.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm pretty horned up right now. Like, do you think we could? And she goes, you need to take care of this.
That's so funny. That's so funny.
You need to take care of this?
She's like it's like a Succession moment. You need to handle this, and you need to handle this yourself. I will not be involved.
The nanny comes in with gloves. She's like, okay, sir.
Mr. Andy, here to milk you.
Yeah, I mean, at our age, it's just devenomizing a snake.
Yeah.
100%.
That's all you are.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you go out in public and you're with female comedians, you're like, I'm devenomed. Don't worry.
Yeah, I have to
Yeah.
like, get the evil out of my body.
It's just working. I mean, female comedians are truly working with animals.
Mm-hmm.
Where they just go, is this safe? And we
Yeah.
go, we think.
He hasn't bitten anybody for like
That's why
2 years.
Yeah. When you get like a sexual allegation, it's like when a chimp in overalls rips a lady's face off. You go, I only saw him be playful.
Yeah.
You go, well, he raped a lady. And you
He
go,
was handsy, but you know,
I did give him a Xanax, though. So who knows?
oh, Mr. Boom Boom fucking took that lady's face off.
took that lady's face off. Oh man, there's so many of those where you're like, you hear about it, and you go, "Oh, I saw that coming." He growled at a
Some of
couple
them
kids.
I do. Some of them, since I quit drinking, I don't know anymore.
Really?
Drinking, you'd go like, ooh.
Yeah.
You could see
You would see it, you go,
the wallflowers that are
"Oh."
hunting.
Yeah.
You go, uh-oh. It's like being hammered was like those They Live sunglasses
Yeah.
where you're like, oh, there's so many rapists at cabin. And then you get sober and you go like, oh, never mind. All right.
They're good guys. They're
Good
family
guys.
men.
I don't know. They're touchy.
That's kind of how I felt like even because that's the same vibe of like walking around Vegas sometimes where you get like caught up in the pomp and circumstance and you really almost feel like it's New Year's and you're celebrating and then your eye like catches Mark Wahlberg's brother from the beginning of The Sixth Sense, like
Yeah.
just this nefarious
Yeah.
lunatic, and you're like, "Oh shit!" and it takes you out of the fantasy.
That
for
was
a
my
moment.
one Coke experience. Was I did Coke with a bunch of TV writers in Las Vegas, and I wasn't drinking at the time.
Oh, no.
So I was just
Dry
smoking tons
Coke.
of weed, and
Yeah, you're driving a Cardinal oil in it.
yeah, it was. I was like gacked out of my mind, but also high in this nightclub, just going up to girls, being like, "Do you want to dance?
yeah.
I got a table."
They're like, "Did you just brush your teeth? You
Yeah.
have foam on the outside of
Hey,
your mouth."
Ace Ventura.
But
He's the mask. He's got mask teeth.
Yeah, it was bad.
Fire Marshal Bill.
Let me tell you something.
But everybody else there was like drinking and had done Coke before, so they were like at 5, like, "All right, we're going to bed, we're done." And I was like, "What are you talking about? This is
Yeah.
the best." And I
Time to go hiking.
Yeah, I get in the elevator and I go down, and as the elevator doors open, it's just daylight, and I see an elderly woman walk by with her visor on, and I go, I have a cigarette already lit too, and I go, I gotta go to bed.
I gotta go sweat this out.
That's bad.
Yeah, dude, those moments where you're just like, oh no. When you see it, where you just go, every strip club experience. has been
Oh
that.
yeah.
Like that
Where I
scene in
just-
Varsity Blues where they walk out and it's the fucking daylight.
But not even the daylight. There'll just be a thing. Like I remember going to strip clubs in Tucson, and I would just like see a girl, and I would see the humanity in it, and I'd go like, I can't do this.
No. Have you done mushrooms and gone to a strip club?
No,
That's
I'd never do that.
insane.
I've done that before,
I'd
and
never
it's
do
a
that.
word.
You
I
have so
haven't
many
been-
decisions to do drugs in places where it makes me go, why would you self-harm like that?
I know it left an indelible mark on like my soul.
There's
and-
zero part of me. Sometimes I feel like when people, and you've done a bunch of mushrooms, so you'll know this.
Yeah.
There's sometimes where there's people, they'll tell stories about mushrooms, and they'll be like, I took mushrooms, and then I fucked all night. And I go, you didn't do mushrooms.
No.
Yeah.
There's no way you did mushrooms. My penis is the last thing I want to touch when I'm on mushrooms.
No, I got brought to a strip club. Like it wasn't my decision.
Oh, okay.
It was
That's
just
a
one of
little
those
better.
things where
Yeah.
we're going.
You got to really do some work if your mushroom thing is like, you guys want to go see naked sad girls?
No. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
well, that's so it happened. One guy that I did mushrooms with. It was the first time I met him, and he screamed for 6 hours. Like, did not stop screaming for 6 full hours. And his first thing was like, he saw there were girlfriends there, and he goes, "Didn't know there was going to be whores here tonight. I was going to take you fags to the strip club."
Oh.
And we're like, "We are doing mushrooms, dude. Like,
Who's
this is not
this?
the
What are
vibe."
you?
He's a real estate agent now in New York City. He's done very well.
Treat
Yo.
is great.
Yeah.
Seems like it.
It's pretty crazy to get that, like from somebody who you've,
I tell
seen
you-
the ends of the earth with, and now you get a newsletter every week being like, check out what's on the market in Gramercy.
Hey, there's a 3-bedroom on the Upper West Side.
I had a friend of a friend is a real estate agent, and he was showing me apartments when I was leaving Queens. And it was like COVID deals were still a thing.
Yeah.
So he was like showing me apartments with COVID deals. And I was like, great. Nice guy. Little bit older than me, but was trying to relate to me in a way that was very, very uncomfortable. Like he was being like, yeah, this place is great. And we're like at the elevator, and this girl would walk by. He goes, ton of pussy in this building. And I go, yeah, I told you I have a girlfriend.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah. And then we were like outside, and there was a waxing center next to the place. He goes, check that out. But there's a bunch of hot pussy coming out of there. And I go, okay. I finally went like, do you need to go, like, go jerk off? What is wrong with you? Who's this horned up? Dude,
My manager?
Yeah, I mean, for real. Just being like, yeah.
No, it's so funny because you get to a point where you don't like don't want to be around that. Like dudes being, you're like, be a fucking adult. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Keep it in your pants.
Suffer
Peter
in
Velvet
silence.
has this great joke, and I think we talked about it one time. Like the way like a 55-year-old talks about pussy is the most disgusting. And he's got the joke where he's like, what is like, I'd eat the corn out of her shit or something like that.
My
Like,
father, when we played golf, was smoking a cigar. I was in 8th grade, and he took a puff, and he goes, "Tastes so good, it's like pussy."
Yeah, you go.
I'm like,
Huh?
yeah, what?
Why are you so crass?
mom has smoke-filled gash.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Dude, what's funny is my dad did a similar thing, but he wasn't like talking about pussy. He was like trying to shit talk my mom. He pulled over. He was driving me from Lakeport to the Sacramento airport, which is like a fucking 2.5 hour drive. And he stopped for a beer. R.I.P. Gary. Alcohol took you out. See why.
My dad seems scary too.
And he had this cold beer, him and his roommate Jim.
Mm-hmm.
And he had the beer, and I remember him like taking it like this and going like, it was very hot. It was like the summer, and he goes, "Whew, this beer's colder than the other side of my ex-wife's bed." And I was like 11, and I go, "No, that's where Nick sleeps." And my dad goes, "Okay." Like that.
Damn, dude.
I was like, nah, fuck you. You don't pay child support. You can't bust on mom.
That is amazing.
That's awesome.
It's where Nick sleeps. And he goes, "Ugh."
It's actually warm.
Yeah. No, they fuck. It's going to screw me up.
Yeah. I don't
hear
like it.
I'm going to do drugs because I can hear it.
It was loud, like you heard, because I had friends whose mother had loud performative sex while I was sleeping at the house, like sleepovers,
it's just
all
so-
that shit.
I could put
And she
you-
was hot. It was unbelievable.
I love my mom very much, but she was not hot. But not with my stepdad. It was with her boyfriend, and they would drink a lot.
Mhm.
And then like I would be watching like WWE Raw or like Monday Nitro, and you would just like hear it. I've talked about this a lot because Jay's amazed by it on the bonfire, and I'd go outside and smoke cigarettes when I was like 12. So you hear him start thumping.
Young Dan smoking is like one of my favorite stories.
Just like in the back, I would
Because you smoked like an alcoholic outside of a meeting when you were like 11.
Ripping
You're like,
butts.
gotta go back in there. I said I had a cleaning commitment.
Yeah, no, I don't know, man. But I remember Katie. This is like my favorite story that I tell Katie because she loves my mom.
Yeah.
But like they were having sex, and I went like, "All right," and then I went outside and took a cigarette and just smoked like angrily at like fucking 11 or I was 12. I started smoking when I was 12, and I'm like, it's just like fucking. I'm like talking to myself like, a little fucking decency, You're sharing a fucking house with your kid. I don't even like fucking Joe's a piece of shit. Why are you doing this? And they wonder why. I have intimacy issues.
Yeah. My mom never dated. It was great. I
No
never
kidding.
once Had to, yeah.
Mine
You
either.
never
Awesome.
asked why? You didn't
No,
want her to
I
do?
did. By the time I was in high school, I was like, you gotta fucking fuck somebody, lady. Like, what the fuck's wrong with you?
Yeah.
But as a kid, I never had to be around it.
That's so
Nice.
funny. I was the opposite. I was like, hey, join a nunnery. I got to stop meeting guys named Terry and Phil.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
My mom has never dated once, like not gone on a single date since she divorced my dad. when
How
we were
long is
20. So it was like 20 years ago. So 20 years.
None?
Not one date.
What's wrong
My
with
mom
your
went on
guys'
some dates.
moms?
I think she's a lesbian. To be honest, like I think she might be, and she's just not open to it, or just fully asexual.
Yo, dude, there was a moment where I was like, what if my mom's a lesbo?
Mm-hmm.
And I think I'd be all right with
I'd
it.
be totally fine with that.
If
I'd
she
have
was-
a harder time with my father being gay, I think. I'd be fine with that too, but I think I would still have a harder time.
Gay dad would be old gay dad.
Oh, so
I'd actually
fun.
prefer it.
Unless
Such a
he has
good
a
now that I'm
visit.
talking it
Such a
out.
good visit.
Unless he has
Yeah.
like a young twink like Ariana Grande's brother.
Yeah.
And then you're like,
That I'd have. Okay, if he
Having
turned
this-
into Frankie Grande, then I'd have
having like a stepmom, like a sassy stepmom.
It's like a little Thai guy.
Yeah, and he's like, your dad wants to know if you're going to dinner with us. You go, no, I'm not going to dinner with you guys. Leave me alone, Pao Pao. And he goes, y'all. He goes, my father wanted to do this trip back to Vietnam since he hasn't been there, and he fell in love with a Vietnamese prostitute named Pao Pao. He goes, your dad only GI I ever sleep with him. I fucking can't, dude. I fucking can't. I just can't. I can't do it. When I start getting into it with my dad, I'm like, it's just because you're fucking drunk all the time. Be nice to your father. And you're like, Stop it, Pao Pao.
This has nothing to do with you. You have to be. This is between me and my dad, Pao Pao.
This is family business. He goes,
I am part of your family now.
You have to accept.
yeah.
Accept him for who we are.
We are in love. And you go, I don't care if you're in love. And then it calms down, and then you have to do the high school graduation where your mom and your grandma are there. With your dad and his Vietnamese kid.
Pao's in the hottest dress out of all of them.
And he's like, he goes, I want to go get a beer. And your dad's like, here you go. And then my mom just has to like put on a good face about it.
I'm happy he's happy.
I was just gonna say, I'm just happy your father's happy after all these years. And then I'm like closer with my stepdad.
Yeah.
Because I go, see fucking Pao Pao? Yeah. Do I see Pao Pao? We ain't eating banh mi for a fucking while. And he goes, thanks, Phil.
Oh.
Hey, Phil, it's not so bad hearing you drill mom after I heard dad put Pao Pao through a wall. Yeah. Oh
man.
no. Oh, they're playing Curious George and the Man in the Yellow Hat again. My dad's Curious George, which I find miscast. I would cast that different.
I would have flipped it.
Honestly, when I walked in on him, I was surprised he dad in the suspenders.
Pao Pao in the yellow slicker.
In the yellow
Where did
hat.
he get that?
I don't know. I go, they spend a lot of money on their on their costumes.
It's crazy.
That's so funny.
man.
Katie's at my dad's house, and she goes, "Yellow hat." I go, "I'll tell you on the drive home. I'm gonna tell you when we leave." Sometimes you don't realize how lucky you are. Your dad's dead.
Oh man.
You go, "Fuck." I'm so glad. I'm so glad he pieced out before I had to deal with any of this.
My dad's. I also have a Gary. My dad's a Gary.
Shout out all the Garys.
And
Crying.
he's become such a sweetie, which is like I'm envious of you guys with your like shut off dads and your dead dad and stuff like that.
Yeah, my
because-
dad's shut off from the whole world.
Yeah, but I mean,
Not
like
in the spiritual
it's
realm.
so much more beneficial for a male to have that relationship with their dad, going into like manhood. Because my dad was like, "All right, you're upset. I want you to write 'I love you' 100 times on a notepad, and you're not allowed to."
Oh my God,
And then-
your dad was like the opposite of my mom.
Yeah, and then I
My
would
mom
go
was
into
like,
the
"Shut
world.
fuck-" Yeah.
And I was just like, every other guy was just punching each other, and I was just like, maybe everybody's feelings hurt.
Yeah, you go, are you punching because you're mad, buddy?
Yeah.
Who the fuck is this kid?
Yeah, it was bad.
Yeah, but you're like Obi-Wan. You can like talk down stormtroopers.
Yeah.
They're like, I'm gonna kick your ass, and you go, I think you're going through something. My fucking brother died in Afghanistan. You go, there it is. There it is.
Open it up, brother.
There it is, brother. You go, don't fuck with Andy.
Yeah.
You go, why? I'll kick your ass. He goes, open you up like a book.
Yeah.
You're therapying the shit out of kids at recess.
Yeah.
You go, dig a little deeper.
Why do you think you're mad?
He goes, because I can't fucking read. And he goes back in from recess. He goes, I don't think he'll be bullying much. Let's just say I found out the root.
The bully
We
whisperer.
found, yeah. No. What's really going on?
I have glasses on the end of my
Yeah.
nose.
You want to? They're laying down on the slide. A little hot. I'd probably check that first. You might get burnt. Now, why do you think you're feeling like that?
Yeah. Where are we at time wise?
Yeah.
We're at an
Dan,
hour.
You're the
Damn, that
funniest
was-
human alive.
Yeah, it's insane.
Goddamn, dude. Homosexual dad with a Vietnamese lover.
It's so good.
It's going to make me laugh.
Pao
I'm not
Pao.
joking.
Pao Pao's so good.
Pao Pao, dude.
Curious George miscast.
Just the dad dressed as the monkey.
I
was
never
so
thought
funny.
how lucky I am my father's dead until that whole little scenario. I'm just, you guys, I know I'm breaking the fourth wall here, but if we're editing, might as well say, you guys doing podcasts back to back, the stamina. You guys blow your
man.
load and then you're just
Oh.
ready to go
This is-
again.
it's-
I'm
the only
telling
day
you
we can
that
have
if we
fun.
don't have a
I'm like-
guest, if we don't have a guest by the third, if we do a solo third episode,
Yeah.
it is bleak.
It's
brother.
some of the most
You go,
unhinged.
It
Would
is-
you eat it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I go, one time I was at CAA and they wouldn't validate my parking because I didn't pay my commissions enough.
Brother, can we talk about this for 35 to 40 minutes?
You know we can.
Oh, dude, sometimes Jay and I would do back-to-back bonfires. And on the second one, we'd be like, let's put on a TV show.
You watch El Norte?
Yeah. Oh, look at that guy.
Look at that guy.
All right, we got to go commercial. You guys fucking rule.
Do you want to? I mean, you are fucking doing so great. You honestly, you are one of my favorite people.
You too, dude. I love both of you guys.
But
so
I mean
fucking
it
much.
because I love that you are a funny, successful comic, and you also aren't a fucking asshole. Like no, but you know, like you're not, you haven't done this fucking bullshit like Trump thing. I don't know. Whatever.
Oh, grift?
Yeah.
Well, brother, if the ticket sales don't pick up, I've been practicing my fucking
South
my
African accent.
Yeah, yeah, that's the hardest because it's a little Australian and a little Dutch.
But you have to say
Afrikaans.
I can get into it, but I have to say a racist South African word to get into it. So I
and then Nelson Mandela's spirit, he goes, "Why do you have to do this to me?"
Andrew. I can't do it.
And I don't understand why you have to be racist.
You're so good at voices. It makes me so
I was a very
jealous.
lonely child.
All my
I had to
impressions.
do voices to fucking block out my mom getting slammed upstairs by Joe.
All my impressions, I have to do a word. I have to pick a word, and I say that word, and I get into it. So, like, if
No,
I,
that's all. That's all impressions.
If I can do, what's the one that everybody does? Christopher Walken.
Yeah.
I gotta go Google Docs,
No, that's right.
That's not
That's
bad.
all.
I
That's
like that.
all.
and then I can do the rest. of
Sam Elliott for me is well. I
Oh
have to
yeah.
say well.
Whoa.
Rodney Dangerfield is. I'm telling you, like you have like
Bush is strategery.
strategery. Yeah, there's like words that you use to get. I use I'm with Chappelle.
Oh yeah. That's
I'm telling you, man. I've never heard it before.
that's
And then-
good. That's a good fucking.
You have
Chappelle.
you have a different Chappelle than anybody else too, because everybody does the high register, but you do
I
the
think that's
kind
just
of
my
low
voice.
bill.
Can you sing?
No.
Because I always thought impressions
surprising.
was like
Yeah, I
a
thought you'd be
tonal
like-
thing.
Nope.
I thought
you
you
cannot sing. I just
no
can mimic.
perfect.
That's really good.
And then it was always just I liked saying things that they didn't say.
Yeah.
That was why I wanted to do voices. It
That is
wasn't
my favorite impression. Is
Yeah.
the
in a scenario that would never make sense.
Yeah.
Macho Man doing John Mulaney.
and that's
It's
why
like
like
exactly
what's
it.
his name was actually like the first time a comic did Black Star Wars. It was probably very good.
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, there's like there are people like Jay Farrow is incredible
incredible.
at
Yeah.
exactly what I love about voices, which is taking a voice and putting it in a situation that makes zero sense
Yeah.
and making sense of it.
Yeah.
He's like he's on a different planet. Jay Farrow is like one of the best voice.
He's crazy talented. Yeah. it's
Dunnigan's
wild.
pretty amazing
Oh,
too.
Yeah, yeah.
Him and Dunnigan are same level.
Yeah.
Kyle Dunnigan is fucking incredible.
Yeah.
There's a lot of guys that are really, really good at
Yeah.
like doing voices.
Well, that's what the Elon Musk thing was almost like. I wanted to see that on its own
Yeah.
outside of Kill Tony because I thought the impression was like fucking spot on.
So
but it
perfect.
just threw a wrench in any kind of momentum anywhere because he had to keep talking.
Yeah.
Like, he couldn't
did
shut up.
back in the day. He did Elon Musk inviting Pete Davidson to a party on the moon, and it's one of my favorite videos Kyle Dunnigan's ever done.
I gotta watch that.
That's
Because
awesome.
he's like Pete laying on a couch. He goes, "Well, that sounds like it'll be an expensive Uber." He's like, "Oh no, it's a rocket, and I could totally come pick you up." it was fucking perfect. Kyle Dunnigan's
He's
one
the
of those
man.
guys. You guys rule.
Are you Soder the podcast
Soder
tour?
DanSoder.com. The Golden Retriever of Comedy Tour kicks off officially in September in Los Angeles.
Nice.
I believe September 15th. But June 6th, I'm at the Count Basie Center in Red Bank, New Jersey. Close to sold out. It'd be sick if we sold that out.
Hell yeah.
DanSoder.com. Go to punchup.live and sign up, and you can watch my movie watch-alongs that I do with
Oh,
comedians.
that's great. Good idea.
Yeah,
to put
me
it
and
on
Nick
there.
Mullen did
Oh yeah, I saw the transporter. That was really
we
funny.
did Transporter 2. We got another one coming out soon. Me and Katie watch Air Bud 2. And then we're
great.
about to record me and Tim Dillon watching Made in Manhattan,
Nice.
which is like, I try to think of movies that are perfect.
Yeah.
The
that's
big
great.
pitch I want that I'm going to try to get is I want to watch Van Wilder with Bert
Oh, that'd be
that's
great.
because that's like based on him.
What would you watch with Alec Baldwin?
Rust.
Rust.
I mean,
You gotta.
no, I'd watch Glengarry Glenn Ross.
Oh yeah, that'd be good.
I'd watch one where he really cooked or The Shadow.
Dude, I think low key, he might be one of my favorite. Him and Wahlberg are my favorite parts of The Departed.
Oh
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
Don't fuck your mother. He's to me, he's no longer Alec Baldwin. He's Jack Donaghy. I watch that so much.
Oh my god, 30
I
Rock.
watch 30 Rock so much
Never
that I
follow
cannot.
a hippie to the second location.
That's always the rule.
It's my very favorite.
He goes, Dennis, what are your politics? I'm socially conservative, fiscally liberal. And he's like, okay. I love it. Dennis is, what's up, dummy? He's like one of the best characters. And that was the one where he's like, one of my favorite random lines he has is when Liz Lemon goes, you got a haircut? Didn't you just get a haircut? He's like, I'm going to a Republican event tonight. It's like a Republican dinner honoring Jack Bauer and Senator John McCain. And she goes, Jack, you know he's not real, right? He goes, Lemon, I assure you, Senator McCain is very real. That show, I watch that show every night while I'm falling asleep, and there's always like 7 or 8 jokes that I miss in an episode.
Yeah, Alec Baldwin deserves like a fucking Mark Twain prize for that fucking role.
Oh my God.
Do you want to plug something?
MikeCannonComedy.com for all dates. I'll be in Boston, June 6th through the 7th at Laugh Boston. Come to that. That's the next good one. MikeCannonComedy.com. And YouTube, Mike Cannon Comedy on YouTube. Ton of shit going up there now because that's, I'm late to everything.
Yeah.
I'm doing...
we all are like scrambling to get our YouTubes up.
Yeah, I got the YouTube.
I thought a special every 2 years on my channel would have done it, but apparently I have to post more.
Yeah. My favorite thing is in 2022, me and Shane both talking about our YouTube specials, being like, we're going to put them out. I hope something happens.
Shane's is at 47 million.
Yeah. Mine's at 47,000.
Yeah, you go to his house, there's like RIAA certified platinum hits, and you go, that's fucking crazy. They do that? He's like, I don't know.
They sent it to me. It's gay. I will be in Portland at the Aladdin Theater for some kind of
Nice.
big benefit thing where I'm miscast as the headliner. July 26th. So that's the only date that I'm plugging right now.
Excellent.
Buy tickets.
See you next time.
Bye.